All right. Hey guys, I'm super, super excited for October. I almost said September, but I was like, it's October. And I'm so excited. This is our third luxury healer inner circle call. And it's our third or fourth. I forget which one. But anyway, either way, it's super powerful. And I'm just honestly so grateful. And I love getting you guys' emails throughout the month. Like, I want you to know no matter what, like when I send those emails at the beginning of every month, like, what's your intention? What is it like you want to claim? Like I really read every single one of those and I do include it in my journaling like throughout the month. So like I really love it. Like don't ever feel like afraid to not send me something or oops, hold on one second. Okay. All right, so great. We got into that. So we paused for a moment. Thank you for being patient, Tiffany. And Fatima, I'm super excited that you both are here. So anyway, I just wanted to share that I'm so grateful on the months that you guys have like joined and that you've been here. Hold on, there's one more. Okay, one second. If you join later, here's the link. Okay, so basically, long story short, I'm just really excited to say I read everything that you write when you guys email me back, every single thing I read. And if you email me throughout the month, like I definitely read it. I have you in my journals. I have you in my thoughts. So I want you to know, like, I'm always thinking of you. And it's honestly one of my favorite times to show up with you guys. And so this month, what I really wanted to focus on, I think it was really perfect for, I think it was really perfect as we're like entering into fall of really like understanding we can choose our identity or like what is our identity, how do we define ourselves, how do we identify ourselves, like what do we choose to call into our reality. And I think this is a really powerful thing because we have to begin to understand that we are multidimensional beings. And what I mean by we are multidimensional beings is that we aren't just what's in this flesh and body, right? We have voices inside of our head that tell us we're not good enough or that we have nothing to offer, that this is going to be challenging, or that who do we think we are to do this? Like we have all of these voices, right? And these narratives happening within us that like will either guide us and empower us to become who we are and like let us unify with our dreams, with our healing capabilities, with being new earth healers, doctors, holistic lifestyle practitioners. Like we can walk in that way, right? Or we have these other voices that come in and they're like, you shouldn't be doing this, you're that, you're toxic, you're all these things. Like there's just all these voices, right, that we have. And I can give an example. Like today earlier I was talking with a friend of mine and I was having these feelings that were like coming up kind of like being a woman and feeling like as a woman it's like scary to trust a man, or it's scary that it feels scary to be like I'm going to build or trust or do this, because if I do that, like, how do I know that I won't get screwed over? Like, how do I know basically? And it's like, I think as women, sometimes we don't really think about often enough, but I very much think of that because of like cancer. And I have this voice that I started thinking like, it's like this identity that's almost like so fearful of if I do something wrong, instead of like trusting I'm always in the right place at the right time. And me having that fear come in, right? That fear of like, am I doing the right thing? Is this right? Is that the right thing? Like that fear, that voice coming and merging into my reality isn't really me. It's a multidimensional being. It's an identity that used to be me. I used to be this fearful person of like, I can't trust anyone online. I can't trust anyone with my credit card or my social security number. Like, I don't know, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like there would be all this stuff that I felt like I couldn't trust or I couldn't do, or I don't know, like I would just always question it basically. And that was an identity I clung on to for so long of like, I can't trust the world. I'm going to think the worst thing's going to happen to me. Like I clung on to that. Right. And from that space of clinging on to the worst case scenario, right, I couldn't fly into a world of magic, into a world of self-healing, into a world of believing that your thoughts can become your reality. Like those two realities aren't congruent, right? They don't go together. So what I really want to offer, what I want to provide, or what I want to share here in this healing, or what I want to focus on, is you meeting all the identities that make you up, like make up of you, or you're made up of, because we all have darkness, we all have demons, we all have light, we all have angels, we all have channeling capabilities, we all have the opportunity to be present, we have the opportunity to allow our bodies to be taken over by other entities. We have an allowance to communicate with other realities. We have a possibility to communicate with other people that are never around us and have a full-blown conversation with them. Like there's all these things we can do because we are multidimensional. We aren't just here in the flesh and blood. And when we think we're just here in the flesh and blood, we're actually really limiting ourselves. And when you begin to tap into this part of healing, you begin to tap into this part of soul, you can start to look at like every creation, every word, every seed you've planted. So like if you were talking with your mom or your dad or your podcast or a blog that you've written or a conversation you had, like you can go and be like, I activate that seed now. Like I request that that person be activated into what I share with them. I request that this person comes into my reality. Or we can be stuck and there's never enough money. It's never going to happen. This is going to take too long. I'm too nervous for this. This is like all the voices. And every moment we can be anywhere on that scale, on that spectrum, right, of polarity. So, yeah. Let me breathe into that. So I just want you to focus on this, meeting all your identities. Which identities are you? Which identities are not you? And then being able to recognize where you want to play, what identity you want to choose. Like, even though this is your reality, but who do you choose to be anyway? And that's really what I want to focus on in the sound healing. So I think what I want to start with first is I would love for you guys in the comments, if you kind of know, Tiffany, you're driving, but you can say it in your head. Fatima, you can type it. What are the identities of you that needs to be let go of? Like, is it scarcity? Is it attachment to money? Is it need to control outcomes? Is it negative self-talk, like low self-worth, low confidence? Is it anger, hate, resentment, frustration? Like, what are the identities that need to be dissolved? So type it and then think it. I'll give you a second. Oh, wow, look at this. Sorry, I just got it. I just saw it. Thank you. Yes. Fatima, do you have an identity you want to let go of? Type it in. I think fear and hatred. Yeah. And then what the other thing I want you guys to claim is, who is the identity you want to align to? I know a big identity I've been wanting to align to is like peacefulness, calmness, presence, beauty, elegance. Just give you a second. Right, perfect. And the next thing before we get started, what I want you to do, we're going to say it 5 times together, but really claiming, I love that, Fatima, love and compassion. I think one for Tiffany, I could say would be congruency. What you feel internally, what you know on the inside of you, you are being congruent and sharing that with the external world. And then one thing that I think would be awesome or would be epic, one thing I think that would be awesome or epic that I really want us to focus on, or I really want us to share, is, I'd say 5 times before we start, is I am a multidimensional being. So let's claim it. Let's really understand that so we can go through this. So 5 times, we'll say it together. I am a multidimensional being. 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 And last time, I am a multidimensional being. All right, and then with that, Tiffany, you're driving, but just relax. Fatima, close your eyes, put your palms face up. Just rolling back your shoulders. Maybe moving your head side to side, allowing yourself to become really present with just yourself. Allowing yourself to become really present with what's alive inside of you. Just releasing. Just releasing. Mm. Ah. 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 Clearing the space, allowing there to be room. Allowing there to be room, allowing there to be spaciousness, allowing for the truth of all of the entities that make you up, of all of the beings that represent you, to have a space to land. The beings of truth, the beings of love, the beings of compassion, congruency, the beings of empowerment, that these big, expansive, multidimensional energies have space to land within your field. I want you to imagine a moment when you saw your darkness take over you, whether that was you leaving, screaming in an argument, whether that was you feeling frustrated, feeling unheard, feeling unseen. Think of a time when darkness overtook you, when you became a channel for the multidimensional being of darkness to enter into your field. We welcome this being in so that it is now from the shadows into the light. This multidimensional being, the one of shadows, the one of darkness, is now brought into the light. It's not brought in. Shurukutana Wataranasaya, Shanokwa Patanaka, Shano Trataka, Noya, Shanokwa Patanaka, Shurukutarana Karatara Shanakaya, Tanopa, Trakashanakaya, Tanotara, Shakoya, Tranaka, Shuturana, Kadatrash, Noya, Padraka, Trokutarash, Nokwa, Tarana, Yptrator, Shukwa, Nera, Trakatanakaya, Shanokoya. Asking for this to be released, asking for it to be brought into the light, asking for this multidimensional being to be known, to be shown, to be cared for, to not be judged, to dissolve any resentment, anything that's not flowing into your highest. Shorikatrai, Panai, Taranashaya, Kunurai, Tarai, Ranatrai, Kunutapa, Tarantanash, Nukua, Patanash, Nukua, Tarankai, Tanai, Tanashane. Allowing the darkness, allowing the entities, allowing the low self-worth, the judgment, the inner critic, allowing this to no longer be a shadow, but it's brought into the light. It's brought into the way of a multidimensional being. You are all of it, and all of it is you. Asking for love and attention. The darkness within you, these voices that are holding you back, are simply asking for love. They're simply parts of you asking to be acknowledged. They're simply parts of you asking no longer to be ignored, to be separated, to pretend, and to fight against. Embrace the darkness, embrace the anger, embrace the frustration, embrace every moment of it. Now, allowing the pleasure, allowing the voice of goodness, allowing the voice of I am abundant, I am amazing, I am here to rock the world. The moment when you look in the mirror and you feel like, oh, the world is my oyster. Activating the multidimensional beings of pleasure, of abundance, of prosperity, of presence, of softness, of stillness. Sometimes the multidimensional beings come through, and the best thing to do is be silent, to communicate with people in the realm of this mind, the realm of energetics, to save your breath on what is not going to empower you to get where you want to go. Activating pleasure, activating abundance, activating prosperity, activating joy, activating the multidimensional of light, of your light potency, of your light frequency. patanaya tanashanaya kunoya patanaka tanashena kaya tananapoina kaya tanashena koya taranda kaya tareta kaya shunokoa patanaka taranakaya shanaka toya patanaya tanashanakaya parata ke shunokoa. The multidimensional energies activating you from the third dimension to the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension to really the 12th dimension and beyond. You have a whole light avatar team supporting you. You have a whole world of beauty coming into your reality. Aish nakatrai tapanakai tanashanaya tanakai. Allowing yourself to be in blankness. Allowing yourself to feel and meet these other energies. What color they are, what language they use, when each entity comes in, and where you can see the opportunity to shift into pleasure. Shurtanai katrash no koa pananatrash no koa taradatai no koa paratrash no koa taradatai no koa shnakatratro nakatrash no koa. Allowing yourself to see the separate colors that each of these entities bring. Allowing yourself to see where they register in the body. Allowing yourself to see that you have complete control over whether it's darkness, it's pleasure, and being able to transition in between the two. Allowing yourself to see that you are not alone, that there is a force stronger than you that channels many different energies, many different frequencies. And the more conscious you become, the more activated, the more aware, the more that you're able to transfer how you want to act, how you want to react, and how to show love and self-compassion for each entity that is channeling through you. Your identity will always be in my multidimensional being. Every moment you have an opportunity to choose to align to love, compassion, congruency, passion, joy, pleasure. At every moment you have the opportunity to allow space to be created, to feel the energy desiring to come through you and release it into a creative expansion, into a creative asset, into an opportunity, a seed that can be planted for someone else's growth. At every moment, you can use these multidimensional energies, allowing yourself to speak to anyone you want to in the world, past relationships, future relationships, allowing these multidimensional energies to be something like a book where you can play with your own timeline of your life, of how quickly or how slowly something gets to happen for you. Aish na kantrai no koe patanandrai no koe tanandakai tanashane tarkoe prankotre no koe tananash no koe patanakaya tanashanaya tanakaya. Allowing there to be a blank white screen in front of you. Allowing yourself to meet the multidimensional energy that allows you to feel pleasure, that allows you to feel joy, that allows you to feel abundant, prosperous, that you're safe, that everything's okay. Allowing this multidimensional being to be the new foundational pillar of how you live your life. Allowing pleasure to be the baseline of who you are instead of the pain, the trauma, the other energies that this world is trying to have you be or put upon you. Naming this energy, this multidimensional being that you are, and befriending the one of pleasure, activating the one of pure bliss, no longer allowing worry, hate, frustration to be what runs your life for the other multidimensional beings. I now allow pleasure. I now allow pleasure to be my baseline. Shoro kutranakaya tanandate no kutraya kunoparente rankanaya tronshinoya taraka tareshinaya puranaya tronquesha no qua peratra shono kutraya no qua paratrash no qua taratare shonoya parai taranaya. Shoro patanaya kutrana shonoya tanaya. Asking this multidimensional being to unify, to enter, to be present inside of your root chakra, grounding you into pleasure on this earth instead of the pain that is being alchemized from the collective. Allowing this multidimensional being of pleasure unify with part 42 and point 39 of your heart chakra. Allowing this entity, this energy of pleasure, to completely surround your crown chakra, for a violet orb to be pulsating through and around your body, for your dreams, for your imagination to be filled with pleasure, and so that every thought you think, every dream you imagine is guiding you into enlightenment, into enhancement, into optimization, into expansion. Allowing a 3D multisensory experience to happen with pleasure in this moment in the body. Shorokatanaya panandaya shanukwa paratray shanoya tanaya shanukwa patranaka shanukwa tarashinake tronqua paranaka trashinake tronka trashinawaya paya. Repeating it 5 times with me again. I am a multidimensional being. I'm a multidimensional being. I'm a multidimensional being. I'm a multidimensional being. I'm a multidimensional being. And I now choose to run from pleasure. I now choose to activate from pleasure. I now choose to allow pleasure to be my baseline. Asking for the unification in the crown, the heart, and the root chakra. Asking for pleasure to be the baseline in your body, for it to be your guiding principle. Asking point 39 and 42 of the heart, the unification. Allowing pleasure to be how your heart operates, allowing pleasure to be what flows from your heart, allowing the pain of the past, allowing the fear, the scarcity, the limiting beliefs, the multidimensional energies that overtake your body and your thoughts, no longer allowing the darkness to be the one running the show, but allowing pleasure to be it. Asking yourself, is this pleasurable? How can this be more pleasurable? I'm a multidimensional being of pleasure. Shurukutranaya, Transhanoya, Patanatraya, Kundanshanaka, Purananaya, Patankaya, Shanoa, Transhanukwa, Paratranshanakaya, Tanakaya, Tanaya, Shanoa. Rolling your eyes in and back up to your third eye. Putting your hand on your heart. Feeling into the identity of the future of you, the multidimensional being who wants to be birthed in the now. The one that's calm, peaceful, powerful, who speaks in the multidimensional realm instead of with her words or his words. The one who trusts that their voices are heard without having to speak. The one who states their desires and acts from a place of knowing that it's already complete. Being a multidimensional being in the realms that most people never have the courage to face. Yet those realms actually enter into your body. Allowing yourself to love yourself for all of the energies that you're able to carry at one time. Learning how to alchemize, learning how to be responsible for each of these parts of you. No longer judging it, no longer hating them. Just claiming you're a multidimensional being. And then choosing that you're going to be one of pleasure. Choosing to change the frequency of what energies are allowed inside of you. Choosing to change the frequency and attune to the frequencies, the layers, the dimensions that allow you to speak with the minds of the greatest people living or not living. Allowing this to be your normal instead of needing to call a friend to talk. Allowing this to be your baseline, that you are never alone. You are not crazy. You are right the whole time. Everything always existed the whole time. It was always real. And now it gets to be from pleasure. Now it gets to be from the self-empowered choice. Shurakatanaya, Donokoya, Padanataya, Shanakoya, Padatara, Tanaya. Shanakoa, Patanaka, Shanotoranakaya, Tanaya, Shanakaya, Poya, Tanashane. Aistanaka, Paranakaya, Tonokaya, Tanakaya, Tarashakaya, Tanakaya, Pataratoy, Kanaya, Tarashankata, Potrakato, Kwana, Paranakatara, points 42 and 53 activation, and point 25, allowing the release of this brain cell and also the release of any demonic energies that have been implanted from the news, from COVID-19, and anything of the pandemic. Allowing yourself to breathe. Releasing the waves, releasing the thought patterns that are no longer yours to carry, or the radio waves that were imprinted upon humanity and you. The radio translation. The words are much denser than the true frequency of what you speak. The communication of the mind will always guide you into heightened levels and quantum levels of success. Words are too slow. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to explain this to friends. You are simply the pillar of light. Communicate with your mind, let them unleash, and you are the purifier. Clearing, dissolving any patterns that are not yours. Allowing yourself to activate that you are a multidimensional being. Allowing yourself to know that you are always right. This life now gets to be from pleasure. I now choose from pleasure. I now choose my identity of peace, calmness, trust. A mantra to repeat: I trust myself. I believe myself. Shanakunaya Panaya Tanashanea Koya Panantara Shanukua Panantare Shakua Tanaka Shanakua Terete Nakai Tanaya Pai. Ais Tanakaya Panaya Tanashanakua Pana Tanakaya Tanaya Shanukua Tarashanake Patanakatra Shanakoya. Allowing the crystals within the body to be activated, allowing the crystals within the technology and the body to be unified, allowing alignment, the multidimensional beings to bring forth the truth, the light. Allowing there to be crystals floating all around you, protecting you. Allowing no energy any longer to be implanted unless it's of pleasure. Imagining a white screen again, allowing all of the energies and entities that enter you to come into this white screen, bringing the light to the shadow, bringing the beauty, the pleasure, also into the light. You have the choice at every moment to align to who you desire. You have the choice at every moment to choose which energies you will interact with in the higher realms and which energies are in other people. Speak to the energies, not to the person. Looking at every energy, the multidimensional beings, thanking them for their place in your life. Simply swiping away which ones no longer serve, and you choosing which ones get to stay. You choosing to create which energies are allowed. It's your world, it's your choice. It's your empowered decision every moment. You're healing for yourself, and the deeper you heal yourself, the deeper you heal this world. You cannot heal another person. You can only inspire them through you to meet their own multidimensional energies, and you can be a facilitator in their momentum of rising, of opening, of empowerment. And repeat that again. You are not here to teach them, to heal them. You are simply here to inspire them to heal so they can come and open up through the work that you've done. You are here to speak to their multidimensional beings more than their human mind. Aish nakoe panaya tanakash nakoe pananaya trokoe tanaya nakoe paratre nakoe. Shnukotrana kai pranakai shnukoe patanakai tanokoe panakai shnukoe. Giving yourself a big hug. Pulling your shoulders up and back while you're giving yourself a hug. Breathing out. Opening your eyes. Feeling the spaciousness in your body. Feeling the beauty of all parts of you. Feeling the deep gratitude and surrender. Anything you want to share? Anything that comes up? Fatima, Tiffany.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
When you said it was cool to listen to that while the sun was setting and everything. But when you said speak to the energy and not the person, like I just got chills during that whole time. It's kind of cool.
So happy. Yeah. And I think that's really big for you right now. And I just think it's big for all of us. Like we have to remember there's so many greater forces playing.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Fatima said, I could not stop saying that pink light. So the pink light, which is really beautiful, would be more like your crown, like it's between like your third eye and crown chakra. So it means that Fatima, your like imagination or like the higher realms are really trying to like communicate with you. Like they're really trying to enter in from the crown of you to go through the bottom of your body. So definitely drink lots of water. That was a really deep one. Like even for me, I feel like such a softness. So like I was doing it, and like I could even like see the other energies inside of me. So that was really beautiful. So it was a really deep one for sure. So anything else? All right. Well, I love you guys. Let me know if anything comes up the next couple days. I'm sure it might. That was like a big one for sure. So love yourself. Give yourself a hug. What are you gonna say, Tiffany?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And yes, Fatima, totally normal. So I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.